he doesn't win. Hello, this is Carrie O'Donnell from Tarot Soul Writer. And if you would like a personal reading with me, please go to my website, tarotsoulwriter.com. Press book a tarot card reading, and I'd be happy to do a reading for you. And just a reminder, there are still openings in my Tarot Soul Writing group. In this group, you can learn to do tarot soul writing yourselves. We will have tips and tricks. We will do readings for one another. We will look at big picture current events together and get some answers. If you are interested in being able to do that for yourselves, please go and sign up for one of my tarot soul writing groups. Also, on another strange note, this particular video, Trump is Leaving, that I posted in July of 2023 is taking off for some reason. It has over 50,000 views. I just want to say that that was something where I was looking at, I think it was the end of June. I was looking, or maybe the beginning of July, I was looking what's coming up over the next few weeks. That was sort of the mindset and the happenings of what was happening in that segment of time. A lot's changed. Like, I actually still, in my 2024 readings, got Trump actually looking at trying to leave. But it's very clear to me that that is not how it's going to end. I get that a different scenario has really evolved for 2024. Please check out my 2024 playlist. You might want to look at July 2024 for what I see happening with Trump and just in general. Which brings me to this video. I have looked at your questions and sort of chunked them together so I can do some little mini videos. And these were all the questions that I got about Donald Trump. Just general, generic questions people wanted answers to. So I did a soul writing session. I worked with the cards. And this is what I got for some of the answers. Is Trump going on the ballot through the end of the election? I thought this would be a very clear yes or no answer, but it really wasn't. And it kind of goes with what I had seen in the overview for Trump. The initial answer to the question is yes. He is at first going to be on the ballot. I think the Supreme Court has already ruled that states can't keep him off the ballot. And I feel like he is going to be on the road to being the presidential nominee and being on the ballot. Right? So then I got deception and fraud, cheating. I get the expression, watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat. So I think that this is, Trump manipulating the system and the courts to make sure he can stay on the ballot, even though he was challenged. And then I get narcissist and ego, bragging and delusions of grandeur. Hubris. Someone calls his bluff. I wrote, he scorches others with too much ego inflation. Doesn't sound like Trump at all, right? That's when I got a health event. Now, specifically, I got the card, the Sun card reversed. And ironically enough, besides all of the ego that surrounds that card sometimes, it's also my card for heart attack and or stroke. I don't mean to keep harping on this because it's not like I wish someone ill health, but I keep getting that there's going to be some sort of major event, health event for Donald Trump. And it could very possibly be a heart attack or a stroke. He might not pass. He might not leave the planet right away. But it might be that event that keeps him from being in the race. Because right after that, I got the Lover's Reverse. I get that split again, a loss of partnerships, a loss of support. And I feel like this is also coinciding with the Republican split that I saw in my overview. literally the party is splitting in half. So there are Trump supporters here that are going to stick with him to the end, no matter what happens to him. And then you have another segment of the party that's sort of sick of all of this ego inflation. I don't think that they're very happy about the money situation with the RNC. So he's not making any friends within the Republican Party. And then I get an ending or something about him being finished. I feel like, yes, he's going to be on the ballot until it's no longer relevant. So even if this happens where it's too late to take him off the ballot, I feel like it wouldn't matter anyway because he's unable to be president, like physically unable to be president. He's either not physically present or he's not physically present in his head. I don't think that him being on the ballot is going to be relevant at all. Is there an end to Trump seemingly being above the law? And will justice be served for all of his crimes? Not really. I don't get justice for all of his crimes. I wrote, there doesn't seem to be justice for his money laundering, specifically related to Russia, and for any kind of corruption or connection to Putin. At least here, not on Earth. Okay, so I just don't think they get that far. I think because of the health event that I see, that kind of justice on Earth, it's like even though they might have all their ducks in a row and lost the election, they could have pursued this even more. But I don't think that there's going to be a need to do that. And because of that, we're not really going to see the justice that we all imagined with Donald. I wrote, I get the biggest karmic justice is that Biden wins. So that's our justice, right? That's the justice for all of his crimes. It's that he doesn't win. Let's focus on that. He's going to get his justice in the universal sense. Trust that. And our justice and the justice we will experience is that we, the people, vote for someone else. Will 45 ever be accountable for anything? Is he working with the devil? The devil? That might be a little strong. I will say I did not get anything related to devil. I didn't get the devil card. I didn't get any of my symbols for darkness, but I did get, I got the word magic, and it felt like a dark magic. So he might have an attachment. It's kind of like equivalent to sort of selling your soul. I think it's more or less marrying yourself to darker energies and going down that hole. I actually don't feel there's an actual devil. I think it's more about, yes, he's dabbling in darker thoughts, darker energy. It's not good. But I did get this as far as will he be held accountable for anything? I don't think it will be accountable by the law because I think he's going to peace out before that can actually happen. Because I do get he will get away with his theft and grifting. That's something he gets away with before he leaves the earth. But I do get that he loses the love of his supporters over time, and we no longer, as a people, see him as successful. In other words, he loses everything. And in this strange way, that is how he is held accountable. Whatever accountability we can't get with the courts, like actually putting him in jail, we actually get accountability, or we see some sort of accountability with his money. It will be more of what we're already seeing with the money that he has to pay out and that he's having a hard time. I think we are going to see a lot of his assets being liquidated. This is something we are all going to witness until we realize that he has nothing, that he really wasn't successful. There's going to be some exposure of that in this lifetime. And so in that way, he will be held accountable. Will Trump ever officially be tried for treason? No, I don't get it. I checked again. I don't get it. Again, I don't even think he lives to get that far. Will Trump see time in jail or prison? I'm getting no. Actually, it's funny. When I did the spread, I also got the Four of Swords, which is the coffin card in the traditional Rider-Waite tarot. And again, I'm still getting images and feeling that no, like he's not going to go to prison, but you could interpret that card as being isolated or being put in isolation, or we can read it as literally being unalive. It's one or the other. It's either he's in some sort of isolated space, like a padded rubber room with that Four of Swords, or he's actually moved on. Will any of the remaining court cases against Trump be completed before the election? I'm getting no. Sadly, there was something here with a money case with a woman, so I'm wondering if that's the Stormy Daniels case, because we already had one with money and a woman. And this would be a criminal case that's coming up with the Stormy Daniels case. I feel like that's going to get very close to being finished. So it could get to the point of they actually convict him, and then maybe the health event happens, or he has the health event right before the jury can actually come out. I don't know. It's going to be close. Like, I feel like that is the one case, because they showed me something with money and a woman. It's got to be that one, unless there's another one that I'm missing. Please put in the comments below if there's another case against him that involves money and a woman. But I feel like that's the one that potentially could start in April. So it just seemed logical with what I was getting that must be the case. I think that one has a chance. It's going to get very, very close. But I think that's the one that's going to take him out of all the others. Did authorities recently raid Trump Turnberry Resort in Scotland and seize documents? One viewer in the community mentioned it, but I cannot find any verifying news items. Neither could I. The only thing that I could find on Google was some sort of raid in 2022, something about his passports and possibly some other documents. When I did the cards, I didn't get anything that looked like a raid. So I'm going to have to say no. But if you know otherwise, please comment below. But based on my cards and what I could find on Google, I got no. Will Trump do another January 6th after losing in November? No. First, I don't get him there in November. Second, check out my video, December 2024, in the playlist of 2024 predictions. I did a whole reading on whether he would do a January 6th, because I wanted to know, even though that would be technically in 2025. And I got a no. But what I did get was that there might be isolated pockets of, I guess you could say, domestic uprising, revolt, or, basic issues, but that they would be squashed or it would be contained. Nothing in Washington, nothing that would interfere in the inauguration or in certifying the election. Definitely nothing that seemed like overtaking the government or some sort of coup. When I did some cards to see if I could get some more information, I did get one thing that I didn't get before, and that was that there seemed to be some memorial for those who were jailed for the previous January 6th. So with the election comes part of the protests, like they were political prisoners or unjustly jailed. It was something like that. So there is some sort of like protest and uprising in their memory. So that was new information. But no, there's not going to be anything like we experienced on January 6th after the last election. So in short, I personally don't get him to the election. And that answers a lot of your questions as no, 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 and no. I think that the justice we may see is having him lose all his money. We might get very, very close to actually seeing some sort of legal justice, at least in one case. But I think after that, he just pieces out. He's either in a rubber room or they have him isolated in some way, shape, or form, or he's just not here. And we'll just leave it at that. So I asked my guides if there are any final words on the Donald. And what I got was, do not dwell on pain. Stop fighting against things that have hurt you. Free yourself. Stay in the light of your being. Helping angels have been sent so that love and peace find their way to you. And that was my final message. They don't want you to dwell on Trump. They don't want you to dwell on the negative and the fear. My God, will this happen again? Will we ever see justice? Please leave that to the universe. It is all going to right itself. This is our job. We need to vote. We need to stand up. We need to be part of the process. Democracy is a participation sport. That's what I like to say. So go out there and participate. You need to stand up and you need to vote. And that is my very short reading on Donald J. Trump. If you like this video, press like, subscribe, share it with all your friends, and I will be back with another video and a new topic. Until then, you have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.